That's a classic, that is. That's a classic. Oh, look, he's got a little microphone. It's a tiny microphone, it's that for small people,
Can I ask, what is the biggest problem you're faced with today?
Oh dear, sir. Well, you could be here all day with a question like that, sir. You could be here all day because basically an event like this, well, it attracts a right old rabble, sir. It's a bit of a den of iniquity, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, you've got to have eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah, the old bike
crowd. Literally, but
bicycle enthusiasts, sir. They can be a crazy bunch. Crazy bunch. Oh yeah.
Wheelies, sir. Broadsides.
Yeah,
skids.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That sort of thing.
Is it true that skids are for kids?
That's a good one. That is good.
Yes. I will keep that one.
The only skids I like to see, sir. I should stop there.
No, don't tell them that. It's too much information. It's too much information. No, all in all, sir, with us here, there shouldn't be too much trouble.
Is this a video camera, sir?
It is. Are you making much profit on fines today?
Well, sir, we've already issued, I've issued 47 tickets in the last half an hour, sir. Oh, 47 tickets in the last half an hour.
We tend just to give them to the people just to put on their own vehicles. It saves us the walk a lot of the time.
It's quite an easy game with an event like this, sir. 48.
48, bingo.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, no, it's a nice easy event for us, yes.
In a bizarre twist, Pat McQuaid claimed that the only nominated candidate in the UCI presidential election in September, Sir Brian Cookson, will remain in the UK in his dressing gown and watch snooker in the lounge while overseeing the governing of skateboarding. Sir Brian counterattacked, claiming that we would be moving to Aigle and requested that Pat stop ripping the central heating out of the UCI safe house. He also claimed to prefer a Rafa onesie to a dressing gown. Mr. David Brailsford took a bus journey home to Llanberis in North Wales. The Team Sky and GB Cycling Svengali returned to his childhood hometown with stage 4 of the Tour of Britain and said, Orichi Tegel Them Yellen Oswelt or something like that. Some items of news are just not funny, but are worth telling. Team Sky Business Supremo and sister of Girona Book Club founder David, Fran Miller, has successfully sued Oldham Council for injuries sustained when she was thrown from her bike after hitting a huge pothole. Her case was pursued through British Cycling Membership Legal Services. Fran sustained serious facial injuries in the fall of 2010, leaving her with a broken cheek, jaw, fingers, and missing teeth. Despite the efforts of passers-by, we don't find this funny at all, but we're glad that those responsible for road maintenance can be held to account. Neo-pro Chris Horner won the Vuelta after outwitting seasoned GT winners by smiling. Horner then made Travis Tygard look foolish again by not staying at the airport hotel that he didn't say he wouldn't be staying in. Wada ignored the facts and slapped a 2-year ban on everyone in Spain. We caught up with Saddles at the Vuelta to catch up. Check it out.
There are very few people who I would even attempt to smuggle into the Vuelta press enclave, as it were. None of them were around today, so we had to settle for Felix Lowe, aka Saddleblades from Eurosport, who is here in no professional capacity. He is actually being a cycling fan. Felix, what was it like not to have to work?
It was brilliant today. I came down, I'm staying in Barcelona, and I came down on the train. And it was really busy in town, so I kind of walked up the hill. I thought, oh, this has Philippe Gilbert written all over it, thinking he won yesterday and that he could come good again. But then I found out that the breakaway was still out. Found a good place overlooking the finishing straight with 100 metres to go, and the rest is history. Warren Barguil roared up.
He did. What a finish!
What a finish!
Well, I mean, I walked up and I didn't see Gilbert written anywhere all over it. Maybe I was in the wrong hill.
No, it rained and the paint disappeared. So
okay. And interestingly today, I mean, Scarponi was pretty active. I'm guessing not for the stage win, but just to peg some time back, which he lost in the time trial. So next couple of days might be interesting if he recovers okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're going up to Andorra tomorrow. I'm heading up that way myself. More of that later on the bike, but. Yeah, it'd be good to see someone like Scarponi try and get some time back. We really should have our seatbelts on, I think, because you never know what's going to happen here.
As a cyclist who has to ride through traffic, cars that make no sound.
They're not good because you don't know they're coming. You don't know they're creeping up behind you. But this electric car is special. In fact, 5 minutes ago, guess who was sitting here? Well, you know who was sitting here.
I know who was sitting here, but I would like you to tell everybody.
Well, it was the stage winner today, Warren Barguil. We were sitting just over there, having a bite to eat and a drink and a catch up. And then we looked up, and before we knew it, he was here. The Frenchman was here, and he sat down and he was doing some kind of press shot.
Yeah.
We thought, well, what better place to have a little catch up than in the same car?
Yeah.
Behind the wheel that Warren was.
I'm a little confused though, because you say you were having a bite to eat. Now I know the sandwiches came from the press centre. Could I see your accreditation?
It's actually Justin's.
And I believe you've got your own little tour about to start. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's the Hannibal. We're riding from here, from Barcelona, all the way to Rome. So I'm a bit out of action really for the rest of the Vuelta. I'll be following it, but from my own saddle, from my own blazing saddle. I've got a special custom-made jersey and
wow.
There's an elephant on it.
No way.
The Hannibal blazing saddles, the Hannibal Barcelona to Rome.
Could I just capture some of the sound of that colour?
Brown.
I like that. That's awesome. It's organic.
It came out much more brown than I expected. It was meant to be kind of maroony red, so I might have to get a second one remade. But
you could just use different lenses in your glasses.
That's very true. But I was going to wear this for our interview now, but I'm not going to because we're going to be going riding the next 2 days, and hopefully I'll be sporting this when you guys join me.
Well, we're looking forward to joining you, and go easy on us, and maybe sometime in the next couple of days we'll discuss smooth legs.
Right.
So do you reckon that's the horn?
I think that is the horn. I think if you...
Oh, the key's out.
You can't horn when it's turned off. That's electricity for you.
Nothing works. The battery's flat.
What use is this? Warren Barguil was much quicker on his bike than on this thing.
Today we are in the Catalan kitchen cooking up some fast food for you. Essentially, most of you will be aware of the use of sports drinks to improve performance. And what I want to do today is just demonstrate that it's not essential to go and buy a branded drink, that part of what you pay goes towards the marketing of a pro team or whatever. And whilst all of that is good and fine, it's possible to make an effective energy drink on a pretty tight budget. Most energy drinks are comprised primarily of carbohydrates, simple sugars. They might be given fancy names, but essentially what we're doing today is using some commonly available and pretty inexpensive simple sugars to make your own sports drink. The main ingredient is glucose. I've got 454 grams precisely, and you'll all have heard of glucose. It's pretty widely used, so I am going to add that to my pot of speed. As in velocity speed. There was nothing else in here. Okay, so what's basically been found in a lot of sports science studies is that a mix of glucose and fructose, 2-to-1 mix, is a really effective drink to use on pretty demanding endurance exercise. So what I've got here is pure fruit sugar or fructose. This is just bought in a supermarket. The glucose I got in a pharmacy, and I've got pretty much the exact amount I need here, so that if I add this, we've got a 2-to-1 mix. And instead of using the wonderful orange beast here, I'm simply going to put the lid on and just give it a good mix. The reality is, if you fail to mix it completely, you're probably not going to know. It's going to mix pretty well. So there we have that. So this is a 2-to-1 glucose fructose mix. Now the thing with glucose fructose is you can use pretty high quantities and your body will absorb it better than the same quantity of just glucose or the same quantity of just fructose. So for a really demanding session, you could actually take up to 80-90 grams per hour. For most Most kind of training sessions you might do 30 to 40 grams, up to 50 grams is absolutely fine. What I've done here is I've supplemented the carb mix with effervescent multivitamin. So one thing is this covers your RDA for all your vitamins and minerals. It's also got some essential salts, potassium, sodium. So in terms of sweat loss, you're replacing some of the electrolytes. So all I have to do is, for today's ride, I'm going to add 3 scoops. In this case, that gives me around 60 grams. Simply mix it up with about 2/3 in the water bottle, and that will give you, in this case, an orange tasting sports drink that's going to deliver similar performance to something you would buy in the stores, but at a much less expensive price. So I'm with Ned Boulting, most famous for single-handedly voting No Surprises as the best song ever.
Do you not agree?
Have you actually been getting any royalties from Radiohead for that?
But do you not agree? It's a fantastic song.
I would go personally with
another
Wolf
Radiohead
at the Door.
Yeah, because it's not cool to go for their biggest hits. You've got to go for something slightly, more obscure.
I can almost play No Surprises on the guitar, so therefore I can't.
You already know how to live it. In the corner of a party like that, just acoustically, just nodding away like
when
that.
Everybody else is
the girls love that.
Ned, you also cover football.
We're not here to talk about Radiohead.
No, we're here to talk about football, or as no one calls it, soccer.
I don't have a problem with the word soccer.
I don't know what it means. What does it mean?
When it comes to it comes from the word association, the SOC from the Association Football. So it's actually a really old English, if you like, term. Right? And it used to be called soccer a long time before people decided unilaterally that it was only daft Americans who called it soccer. So I've not got a problem with the word soccer.
You've converted me. A lot of retired footballers or soccer players are taking up cycling.
Yeah, I know.
Which of them do you think might have been able to make it as a cyclist?
Lee Dixon, who played for Arsenal and England, etc., who I know quite well, is rapid on a bike. He is properly rapid. But also, he only got into cycling a couple of years ago because a lot of them have knackered knees, and hips and stuff. So actually, it's a thing that they have to do if they want to remain fit. But then they get the bug and you get some of the skin. But Dixon told me that for years as an Arsenal player, so way back into the sort of early to mid 90s, he used to shave his legs. Wow. Anyway. because he liked the feel and the look of his calf muscles and all that kind of thing. Now, I've broken news there. It's a bit of an exclusive. So he,
I've got a bit of history with Lee Dixon.
Yeah, it's not
I
good.
played against him.
Did you?
When I was a student.
Did you?
He pulled my shirt so many times you wouldn't believe it.
It's part of the game.
I got past him and scored twice though. Funny enough, I then got a knee injury and took up cycling. Yeah, that's interesting then.
Brailsford was a bit of a footballer as well.
Okay.
He was a goalkeeper.
Right.
And again, I think injury got him on a bike. So cycling's just full of people who just do it by default.
It's
it's just a half decent second option.
They found nothing else worked out, so I'll get a bike.
Certainly worked like in my case.
And I actually have read one of your books.
Right.
Which was referred to the Great Yellow Jumper incident.
The jumper thing, yeah.
Now, most people would say, if the old Ned Boulting was advising the young Ned Boulting, what would you say? I'd like to turn that around. What would the young Ned Boulting tell you to stop doing now, or to do differently?
For a start, I'd tell him to stop using the word obdurately.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you get a word in your head, and you just can't. You have to obdurately use it all the time. I'm overusing that word.
Well, what do you think his views on cufflinks would be?
Do you want to see them?
Let me see them.
They're only those, those kind of slightly cheap cloth ones, understated, but nonetheless, that's a cufflink.
So
that's the first time I've worn a cufflink on a bike race.
You see,
Ever.
I did see your tweet, and I was concerned for you being in Stoke-on-Trent with a shirt that had cufflinks.
Cloth cufflink, though. I got away with it, and also completely hidden.
True.
Yeah. But it gives me a great sense of personal well-being to know that I have cufflinks on, even if they're invisible. I know. You know what I mean? So I feel like a couple of inches tall.
And everybody on Twitter knows as well.
And everyone on Twitter. It's a problem with that thing. I've got to get off Twitter.
What do you make of the race so far?
I think it's been. I tell you, it came of age. Look, I mean, I know it's partly my duty to talk about this race in glowing terms, but I think you'd be a mug if you didn't acknowledge quite genuinely the strides it's made as a race. And stage 2 for me, it came of age. We've gone up. The route in recent years has gone up spectacular climbs that have attracted vast crowds. The difference being the race itself, and so the guy they were attacking was the guy who won the Tour de France last year. And the two lads who attacked, one of whom has suddenly elevated himself into genuine world-class status, and that's Dan Martin, who is without a doubt in a very elite group of climbers at the moment. And the second, Nairo Quintana, is the guy who finished second on the Tour de France and will go on to win 2 or 3 tours in his own right in years to come. That is genuine. It doesn't get any better than that. The 3 riders contesting the GC race on Honester Pass in the pissing rain, I thought took it to a whole different level. And frankly, do you know what? It's continued today a little bit. I thought that was an extraordinary race today.
It was, yeah.
You know, again, we had Quintana and Martin, rather foolishly, it has to be said, but so spectacularly attacking Wiggins, and Wiggins had to respond. And all of a sudden, bang! Sky were out the back, and Wiggins was right on the rivet, trying to stay with him. It was like watching the Tour de France, and it was on Penny Pass, 1.5 kilometre. Category 2, Tour of Britain, King of the Mountains, average gradient 6.4%.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Yeah,
so I think it's brilliant.
So
and Mark, by the way, Mark Cavendish, the greatest sprinter in the history of stage racing, arguably, happened to win.
He did, and he won probably 100 yards from the world's greatest cafe. Are you aware of that?
No.
Pete Seats in Lamberis. Just as No Surprises is the world's greatest song, Pete Seats is the world's greatest cafe.
What you've rather cleverly done is, at the end of the interview, bent it round to how we began. And, I don't know whether you've
telling me the interview's over.
No, I'm not. No, we can carry on. We carry on. We're waiting for Nairo Quintana to get
Which of your books would you like to plug?
Sorry?
Which of your books would you like
I'd like to plug the one that's more expensive, the hardback, obviously. Don't get it on Amazon. Please don't get it on Amazon, they're crooks. Am I allowed to say that? I can't, I didn't say that. But what they do is they take everything and they sell it at half price, and because they have so much leverage in the publishing industry, it's screwing everyone. It's screwing particularly publishing houses, and it's just not right.
And what about buying the electronic version? Do you want people to wait for a while?
The electronic thing's fine, do that if that's what floats your boat.
Champagne from the paper cup is okay.
Champagne from the paper cup is just fine, but it's called On the Road Bike.
On the Road Bike.
The search for a nation cycling. It's actually a lot of it. Thank you.
I think
you have no reason to say that because you haven't read it.
That I haven't read.
It's a lot of it is about this sort of thing, like these. Look at this bead-on merchant here. Who have you got?
You thirsty?
Is there a team you haven't got a bottle from?
Sky.
Well, there we go.
Okay, you need to go up there.
You need to go up there. Yeah. All right. Okay, see you lads.
Ask for Sir David and say, give us a bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right. Hiya. Yeah, firm handshake. It's about the Tour of Britain, and amongst lots of other things, but it's about this country and riding here. The nuttiness of that, you know. I mean, just nuts. We're nuts.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Fantastic.
Well, no, we're doing a thing. I've got
It's okay. What you do is more important, so this is cool.
I've enjoyed the interview.
Ned, thank you very much for your time.
Play it out. Put on a little edit now and play out with no surprises by Radiohead. Over some moody shots of.
I could play it and sing it.
Where do I see this on the? What's the website?
Roadreel.com.
Roadreel.com.
Yeah. It's
My
the first
favourite-
brand new video
My
show on the
favourite
internet.
slightly improvised 2-bit website.
Absolutely. All the best, Ned. Cheers. Hello, Amazon. Yes, this is Dave Smith from Roadreel. I'd like to discuss the possibility of you doing some advertising with us. Yes, it's roadreel.com.